Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2. What up, though, y'all? On today's episode, very first episode of DJ Inc.'s Q Points, we got DJ Maithai. This young man, I met him virtually through TikTok. What was that about last year? You would say, like
Last,
last summer,
I would say last summer, maybe. Yeah, I'd say about last summer.
maybe 2023.
I want to say the end of 2023 for real, for
Yeah,
real.
probably so. And I just watched him blossom. I remember when he said he was learning. And now he has evolved into like this dog ass DJ, like super dope DJ, over 5 million views. Yes, I checked. Yes, sir. Over 5 million views on YouTube. He rocking it out. He got like 3, 4 like playlists. He just came out with another video, did a B2B with his boy. Um, but that's enough about him from me. Tell them about yourself.
Okay, well, as you know, I'm DJ Maithai. I started, I actually started DJing um, in 2022, like the summer. I would say like the summer of 2022. It's kind of like when I got introduced into it, not knowing I would have like fell in love with DJing, just given the fact that like I'm a heavy music listener, music lover. But I would say like when I was up there, I wasn't taking it as serious as I was until after I moved. So I used to live in Rhode Island for a few years. I had a friend who like introduced me into it, and I first started off playing like techno music. Believe it or not, started playing techno, a little bit of house music,
Okay.
um, and then once I got to South Carolina, I stayed heavy on like the house vibe, more so into techno, and then also with that, just like discovering other genres of music. Um, Watching tutorials on YouTube as far as like ways to DJ, like learning how to DJ. Because again, I wasn't like really, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I think I was just doing it just to do it at the time, not really having like a vision or a goal in mind. But I think once I emerged in South Carolina, I was like, okay, I can see myself doing this. Started taking it serious, and yeah, I guess you could say some aspects of it have been self taught as far as just like learning the basics. Um, and I think once I got here um, to Alabama, which is where I'm currently at, I've met my homeboy Desi, amazing DJ. Taught me a lot of things that I've added to my skill set that have really helped me grow, exponentially compared to where I was at a year ago, or let alone like 6 months ago. I've learned and grown so much, and it's allowed me to like dive into other genres of music that like I would listen to in my free time.
Yeah.
um I was initially like, I guess you could say, afraid to spin or dive into, because I got comfortable in like just spinning like one genre of music. But I started to realize, like, as a DJ or just like as a person in general, like in order for you to grow, like you got to step outside of your comfort zone and add like new things to yourself that is gonna allow you to grow. And so I think from that, I've been able to meet, amazing people along the way. Still always finding new music. I'm just always trying new things as well. Not like placing or holding like a limit onto myself. Cause you have like people who will spin just one
Listen.
genre of music, but that's
Oh,
okay. Like there ain't
listen.
nothing wrong with that. That's do your thug thizzle. If that's your
That's a
niche.
specialty DJ. That's what I like to call the specialty DJs. Okay,
Right.
they only hip hop. They only pop. I
Right.
actually ran into a DJ last summer, and I've never seen it before until then, where he was doing like a rock and roll set, and I've never heard anybody scratch Jimi Hendrix.
I've
But it was dope. But I
okay.
never seen it. But yeah, I feel what you're saying, because that's kind of like the specialty DJs for sure. I tell you right now, like I got myself in that box. Um, but I'm climbing out of it, because I'm like underground hip hop. I like house music.
All right.
Ghetto tech, of course, is well techno, and ghetto tech is
Ghetto
Detroit.
tech, ghetto house, footwork, juke, like
all that shit is from
I'm
the
in there.
all of it is from the Midwest and all of that stuff. So you know, it's the grand. I call house music and techno and even ghetto tech for sure. Like I consider that to be like disco's like grandchildren.
Disco's grandchildren.
A little bit. Maybe house and techno might be the kids, and ghetto tech is like the
No,
grandchild.
I see that. I
Yeah,
definitely I see the connection right there. Okay, I never thought of it like that. I like that
yeah.
actually.
Um.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool,
So
cool.
we're gonna go ahead with the second question, and I know you kind of like talked about. You mentioned like DZ, the other DJ that you like work with down there in Alabama, and like we've had conversations based on or based around like the DJ community in itself, and just let's just I want to talk to you a little bit more about what what it takes for you and like what you do and how you get past like the negativity and like navigating basically through the DJ world when it comes to like the clicks, because like you down in Alabama, me in Detroit for sure, like
Hmm.
Detroit is its own little Hollywood. Like
Right,
I would say, like, for me, I get along with a lot of the other DJs out here,
right.
and we can vibe. We can either like they call me up and see if I can open, do something at the last minute, do something ahead of time. But like you do have those groups of DJs that might have been doing it a little longer, might have started during the pandemic, things of that nature, and they don't really want to share the spotlight because they got it and they worked for it. And it's like you understand it because that's where you're trying to get, but it's like, damn, so like how do you navigate in that world?
I would say I agree, and it's kind of been the same as well as far as like people that are already established here. And they have like I guess you could say like their core fan base or just like the people that rock with them or whatnot. Um, of course, it's like frustrating because, like you said, I definitely get along with pretty much everyone. Although, like, there have been, there's weird things that have happened along the journey, just as far as like interactions you have with people, or essentially like just trying to get put on or like put in a position to where you can like showcase like your skill set and like show what you've been able to do like as a DJ. But I think like more so of I think it's just really about finding those people that share the same mindset and share the same goals as far as like wanting to grow, because like I think a lot of people have that like me mindset, or if they're like in a clique, then they just work within the people that's in their circle. They're not brave enough to like
Absolutely.
venture out and to grow. But it's like you see all these places like Detroit or a New York or Atlanta or Nashville or LA, like you have all these other places where you have people collaborating, doing like club one bedrooms or boiler room or book club radio. Like people see what's going on around the world, and like there are talented people here, and there are people who um, can DJ or have like they spin a different genre of music or whatnot, but
Right.
they don't have like the right intentions as far as like wanting to grow. Because like Huntsville could be bigger than what it is. Like to keep it a buck with you, like with the amount of people here and with the the different groups that are all essentially like trying to do the same thing, like if everybody came together as a collective, we could make it something bigger than what it is. But again, like a lot of people's egos and pride gets in the way, or you just got a lot of people who be meat riding, keep like just straight like that, like a lot of yes men, a lot of people who will just like say yes to whatever just to like look a certain way or just to get put on. um
Man, you telling me.
So I've definitely experienced and have seen and heard a lot of that just from my time being here, but I'm very much so grateful for the people that I do currently have in my life and what we're trying to create and establish, because like you said, you're always going to run into like weird people or people who just have like uh negative intentions in regards to like trying to grow, whether it be like gatekeeping or backdooring or trying to hinder you from other opportunities. And then I think it's a little different in the South, um, just given where we're at, like compared to like Rhode Island, it's diverse there. It's also diverse here. Like you have your places for your like R&B music, for your hip hop, for your Hispanic, for your country, right? You have those
Hmm.
places up there, and I'm sure like in other northern states. But then you also see everybody in the same spaces as well. Here you don't. It's
I
it's
get
it's
that.
not it's not like that. It's like
Okay.
slowly getting to that point, but I think you have a lot of the wrong people who have like access to like the venues or who are like owners of the venues or whatnot. They only cater towards like their target audience. But it's like again, you can't expect to grow if you're not trying to expand outside of like what you already know and what you're comfortable with. But I think with navigating through all of that, it's just knowing that there are people out there that share the same goals and visions, and really just like putting yourself out there regardless of like what's being thrown at you. And it is like frustrating at times, like feeling like, you can't get things accomplished. But um I think as long as you're staying in your like path and knowing what you're doing is gonna work regardless of what's happening. Um all the outside noise and people who like have an issue with what you're doing doesn't necessarily matter, because if they shouldn't have an issue with it, because they should have already been like trying to do something as far as like changing like what they claim they want, this place to
Yeah.
be. Or they'll throw the word community around loosely, but it's like you're not doing or acting in a community like way, as far as like building like genuine relationships, or like having pop up or open decks. Or again, if you're an event coordinator or you're somebody who's been here, you're not working with anybody outside of like the people that you know. But then when you
I
see
get that.
people outside of who you know doing shit, it's just like you still aren't reaching out to them, you still aren't trying to work with them,
Mm.
so I
Oh
think.
no, I listen. Been there. Um, so I completely get it, but I did hear that word that's just been, whew, man, it's been like kind of like a hairnet stuck in the toilet word, gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
um, Whether it's gatekeeping for parties, events, things of that nature, just like you said, not necessarily having like open decks, giving other people opportunities. Um, Definitely feel you there. But the other thing for the topic for gatekeeping that a lot of people are bringing up is gatekeeping music. Um, in terms of like, I have a set, and let's say it's house music, and I play like some Tiana Taylor or something crazy, but it doesn't sound like the original song.
Right.
Um, Me personally, if it sounds good and somebody wants to hear it after I play it, I don't mind sending it. But I'm realizing that a lot of people like cannot stand that. My personal belief with it, when it comes to like gatekeeping music or gatekeeping music, is for me, I didn't if I don't originally create it,
Right.
I don't really mind sharing it.
Right.
Because it's not my music, and at the end of the day, like as a DJ just trying to share music and get it out there, um I feel like I'm not gonna make no money off of it anyway. Like, I'm getting paid to play the music. I'm not getting
Right. But
paid to like create the music until I get into that producer space where it's my original
right.
um outlet and my original output coming from here.
Right.
How do you feel about like gatekeeping when it comes to like the sharing of the music and the tracks?
I think for me, I kind of lean more so on like you said, I'm not opposed to like sharing music if somebody heard it like in my set or whatnot. I don't like sharing music before I plan on playing, because I think a lot of the times, um and I think one thing that we've all like ran into is like not wanting people to like bite off of your style per se, or um I've always been like a very music like share. Like I don't like mind sharing music. At least like especially like the music that I share in my free time, or like I listen to in my free time.
Right.
I think it's a little different for like the music that I play, cuz it's like I really can't necessarily continue to like have this mindset because I've seen other like DJs and creators like on TikTok or like Reels or YouTube like play some of the same songs that I played. So like from that aspect, I'm like I'm really like tripping. You feel me?
Yeah.
Um, so I've definitely gotten better with like not gatekeeping songs. I think I do it whenever I have those songs like planned out for a set or like planned out to play at an event. But then afterwards it's free game. You feel me?
Yeah. Listen, I feel you, and I hear that, like, especially when it comes to like the sharing part, because like, so in Detroit we got a lot of DJs who are like doing like really big things. One of the main DJs that I love to go see because he's like super fire. His name is Black Gold. He is Little Brother's DJ, actually, like the two-man rap group. Like he's their DJ. Like
Okay.
he's dope. Um, there is a Joe K selection mix, and there's another selection mix where like two of his songs are featured on there. And like I feel like my mindset kind of like, I didn't never talk to him personally about it, but like just imagine if your two of your songs go on like a platform like selection that's super
Right.
viral,
Right.
and the first thing you do, like, he shouted it out, but like imagine having a mindset as a DJ or as a person in general with music, being in the music world, and being like, he didn't put my name on it. Like, why would he? It's like one song, maybe two songs out of like a full hour, so it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. And I feel like with DJing, it is a lot of ego in it. But it's kind of just like any other profession. Like, my normal 9 to 5 is ego and all of those things. But I do kind of like want to pivot like straight into just like DJing. In general, you are more of like a public. Um, I would say like you're a public DJ, open format. You're mostly like, when I see your flyers, you're in clubs. Me, I'm in weddings, but I'm trying to get into the clubs, into those coffee houses and stuff like that. And I will get there. But
You will.
when you DJ, after you kill a set, um what's the routine for like the wind down?
What's the routine for the wind down? I never really thought about that. If I'm keeping a wind down like from like the set, just like
Yeah,
what's
like the
the
the set is over, the night is over. Your adrenaline is up because you know what type of event you just DJ'd.
okay.
And it's like how do you calm down from that so you can actually like relieve some anxiety, and just go to sleep. Just like just get some rest.
I think like for me at least, I'll kind of like go into like my to like how I prepare as well, and then leading into like decompressing and removing myself from like said night. I don't necessarily like prepare for sets as far as like what songs I'm gonna play in order. I'll have like a playlist or I'll have a general sound that I
Mhm.
may spin, but like in the past, like I've tried to like plan out a set as far as like, okay, I'm gonna play this song first, I'm gonna play this song second, but it just don't work for me because like as I'm playing, I'm having all these different ideas that come in my mind. So what I had originally set, it just goes straight out the window. So I think for me, just being like spontaneous and figuring it out on the fly has worked for me, and it also has like allowed me to like surprise myself, like be more creative, do things I probably wouldn't have if I like did plan out a set. And that's not to say that people who do plan out sets, that's like the wrong way about going. That's not the wrong way about doing it because everybody has a different way of preparing. But just like for me personally, I think it's best to just figure it out as you're going, whether you like think that you messed up or not, or whatever the case may be. I think it's just fun, just being, it's like it's a challenge, challenging yourself in that way. And I think as far as like coming down from like killing a set, I don't know, I guess I think about what's going on next. Like I think about the not necessarily like the next event, but I kind of reflect on the night, seeing what I probably could have did differently. Um, because sometimes I still get nervous. I think it's more so the anticipation rather than like me actually spinning. Because like
Okay.
once I'm doing it, then like it's all those nerves go out the window. But I think
It's
it's like
great. Isn't that's one of the best feelings as a DJ? You're so anxious, you get there and you play the music, and you're like, oh, never mind.
right, right, and
That's the best
it
feeling.
it really is, and it took some time to get there. I think one thing that definitely helped me though, before like I actually like performed in front of people, like or like at a venue or at a club, and like you said, I'm trying to get to the point where I'm doing like private events, corporate events, weddings. I'm trying to make that transition. Um, but one thing that helped me was like just going out to this park that had like a gazebo, and I would set up and just start playing as people were walking by, running, walking their dogs, whatever. That kind of built up like the comfortability of like being in front of people, even if they weren't like sitting there watching me like directly, but they were still watching me as they went by. So that built up like
That's
some
super
form
dope.
of stage presence without me like realizing that's like what I was doing. And then of course, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. But of course, you're still gonna get those nerves because again, it's just the anticipation of the actual event. But once you're, spinning, all that goes out the window. But yeah, I think after I'm done though, it is very like relieving. Sometimes you'd be like, "Damn, an hour already went by," or like an hour and a half already went by. You're like, "Oh, this was fast." Um,
Have you ever had a night where you wish that hour would go by?
mm, I would say so. Like the very first time I did a show was when I was in Rhode Island. The board
Okay.
that I was using at the time, which wasn't mine, it was a friend's. It was like one of her first like I forget exactly what board it was, but it didn't have a headphone jack. And
Oh,
so I was spinning off of my laptop at the time. And so the speaker the headphone jack that needed to go into the speaker to catch all the audio was the only one that I had on my laptop, but that's the one that had to go into my laptop. So I literally had to just play the music without like being able to hear it before it actually played. And mine, so I would say that would say that hour definitely. I wish that was like one of the times where I wanted it to go by fast, and then like 15 minutes before or like 10 minutes before, I had to go and throw up because that's how nervous I was. Like I was nervous, it's my first time. I was like, oh, I'm actually doing this, but I did it though.
yeah.
It was cool. But yeah, I think like I uh I think the adrenaline still is running, but not in a way where it's like I think I'm more so like I'm like always ready for the next one after like I play a set or
Okay.
perform somewhere. I'm like ready for the next. I'm like okay, so like when is the next one? Like what's the next one gonna be like? And then kind of just go from there. Um, whether that be like getting rid of music that I've already played or I'm always like actively, I would say for the most part, trying to find new music to share. Even though I have like a plethora of playlists, I'm not going to be able to play it all, but you never know when I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and then also too, just like not being too hard on myself because a lot of the times we can be our worst critiques, our worst critics when it comes to like the way we played or the transitions we did. And a lot of times people don't be paying attention to like the little things that we do. They just want to have a good time and
Yeah.
as long as the
As
music don't
long as you
stop.
jamming, yeah. As long as you
Yeah, as long
jamming and the music don't stop and all of that, they normally cool. Um, which is which is odd, but is it intimidating when that happens and like you mess up a transition, but like there's another DJ in the room and they kind of like they don't say anything to you, but they look at you like, what was that? Like,
not
well,
necessar not necessarily because I've done it before. Like I literally hit the Q button mid show before. But
oh
like the people that was jamming and vibing, they was like, "Oh no, like you good." Like, but stuff like that happens because like we human. You feel me?
yeah,
But I
We be
think
jamming with the people, like especially when you getting into that crowd
you
space.
in a you in a mode,
You
you in a state, you in like flow
yeah
state.
you mess around and you boogie and you like, oh, I'm playing the music. Let me get back. Let me lock back in.
Exactly. I think like um I think as a DJ now compared to like going out as a like dancer or a listener, it's much different because like we're always like listening for those like transitions or so like one thing before I started DJing, one thing that I hated as a listener was like DJs who like didn't let the song play long enough for you to enjoy it. That was like the one thing I didn't like. I'm like, damn,
Church
nigga,
verse
let the song,
DJs.
yeah, let the song play so I
Ugh.
can enjoy it. Sometimes, but I realize sometimes I do that. It depends on like how upbeat the tempo is or like how upbeat the song is, or if I feel like it's too repetitive to where it's like, okay,
Yes.
I need to like get out of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like one thing I didn't like as far as like DJs playing or not letting a song play long enough to where you can actually like enjoy it before switching over to the next song. And then when they did switch over to the next song, it didn't match the vibe of what they were currently playing. But yeah, I would say like now it's much different. It's kind of harder like to enjoy going out like clubbing or dancing because like we have that DJ mindset. So like we're looking for those like little like those little things and be like, oh, I would have did this differently, or I would have did this differently.
Yeah.
But I try not to though. I try to still like appreciate and enjoy like what they're doing outside of me like being,
Me
a
too.
DJ.
And for me, even if it's not like that DJ's best set, because I have been some places with friends where like because they're not DJs, they don't understand DJ etiquette, and they
Right.
don't understand the fact that there are times and days where like you could be a killer, you could be a killer, but that's you could have that one night where it's like did she just start DJing yesterday, and it happens.
Mm-hmm. That's
Sometimes it's technology. Sometimes you just not like you didn't put yourself in the right mind frame. Um, but I did have to learn to like, I had to like stop friends before and be like, no, chill, like just give this person a chance. Um, and it will kind of like get back to it. Like you gotta understand like when you're DJing, what you get it because we're DJs, but like non DJs don't understand. Like sometimes like shit just happens,
yeah.
and like as much as you want to avoid um that happening, you kind of got to put yourself in a mindset where it's like maybe talk to him later, DM him like, hey, fire set or not fire set, but like let me know if you want to like get together and do something, because I noticed a lot of times too, when I go out in public, if the DJ isn't necessarily like top tier or the best or whatever other people categorize them as, they're new, and you got to give new people a chance. One thing I can say about like like going circling back a little bit back to our question about like DJ community, in Detroit, a lot of people, I'm gonna say it, I don't care. A lot of people in the city of Detroit, um, they get on because they know people,
Right.
and it's like you can tell you can tell that you just taught your friend how to DJ a month ago. I can hear it. But once again, as me as an individual, like I'm teaching somebody how to DJ right now, two people actually, maybe three. And I just tell them like you got to give yourself time,
Mm-hmm.
and when you hear a DJ, I want you when you go to parties. I just told somebody this like when you go to parties as you're learning how to DJ, I want you one thing I want you to do is focus on not criticizing. I know a lot of people who wanted to try to start to become a DJ that only wanted to do it because they claimed the DJ at a party sucked one day.
Right. But
And then they
they
get
didn't
under that light, they didn't put in that time, and now you on the stage looking like the clown that you claimed the other DJ was, and you can't be bogus like that. So like when you're learning, and even like it's always a learning process, but like when you're learning in the beginning, I would say like the intermediate for us is what are we like 1 2 maybe 3 years into DJing, probably around the same time we started, and like I'm pretty sure the both of us went somewhere a couple years ago and we was like, what the hell is this?
Right. And I think,
But
like you
like you
said to
said, like,
that,
yeah,
people aren't like people who decide to DJ don't enjoy or listen to music as much as they claim they do as well. So like you said,
yes,
as far as them getting under the spotlight and essentially looking like a fool, it's like, do you actually like enjoy DJing
man.
for the music or DJing itself, or are you just doing it for the theatrics and the things that come with it?
Dude, I just I didn't go. I got a call from somebody else. 'Cause we saw like a threads rant about like house music and how like this somebody was gonna kill the scene and do all of these like these amazing things. So they did a house music night. Every single song was K Tronada. And that is what I'm talking about right there. Like when you're learning, you need to learn how to be humble and you need to learn how to listen. And before you become a DJ, you need to also make sure that you know enough music because DJing is not to be disrespected. And no disrespect to playlists and playlist makers, but it's not a playlist. Like you can create a playlist and like work around it,
Right.
but it's not like it's real music, real time. We have to move, we have to transition, we got to do a lot of things to keep a party going. When you get that playlist that you dope at making, um, it's a playlist. The whole song plays. I'm hearing the interludes, I'm hearing the outro to the song, I'm hearing all of that stuff. But when we're DJing, like it takes time and patience to really get into that bag and really start like spinning and keeping the crowd engaged and making people dance. Like that takes time. And I think a lot of people that aren't necessarily into music, you don't even have to be a DJ. Like a lot of people that I've met doing sets and particular places, like they'll come up to me because they know music and they like, I like you as a DJ because you play this and that. And I just went somewhere last night and all they played was like the top 100. And no disrespect to those DJs either, because the beats we can claim that they sound the same, but a lot of them don't, especially when you put them together. So yeah, I feel like we're in a transitional period um, with people who wanted to be DJs who are exiting out because now they see they kind of embarrassing themselves.
Right.
And I mean, to each their own. Everything in life is a learning lesson. You're
It
gonna
is.
gain or lose something from everything, so it is what it is.
That's very true.
Um, but let's take it back to some fun. We're gonna. I got three more questions, and then we're gonna go ahead and end it. So we can make sure that we get this out to the people by May 1st. Um, so question four. Well, yeah, this question is basically like I said, just fun. Um, name your top three like DJs, like famous ones, because I don't want you to get in no trouble back at home. So name your top three DJs.
They do they have to be famous?
They don't have to. Honestly, no, they don't have to. Your favorite is your favorite. Like people feel their way, but that's what feelings are for, to feel them. So get over it.
Okay. Um. Well, my homeboy Desi here. He's one of my faves. My lovely, beautiful girlfriend, soon to be wife. Javen is another one of my
Hey,
favorite DJs.
that's fly.
Who else? I would say DJ Sluggo. I would say those are my like favorite. Yeah, I would say those are my favorite DJs. Hmm.
Okay, all right. I'll join you. So my top three. I'll name a famous one first because this DJ is literally the reason I wanted to become a DJ. Jazzy Jeff, like that's my guy. Um, love Jazzy Jeff. And then my other two aren't world famous, but they will be based off the way they spin. My
Hmm.
homegirl, my sister Bree, Miss Alchemist.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. When you come to Detroit, because we've been talking about this Detroit trip, when you
Yeah,
come,
I know.
if
I
she
know.
has a set when you come, we're going to see her. You're gonna introduce you, like I'm gonna introduce you and everything. Like she's amazing. And then my third favorite DJ, um, I would say Dice is nice. He's a DJ from Detroit. Used to be on the radio a lot, and I met him when I was like maybe 3 months into DJing.
Okay.
Back when I was like playing song to song, and it was I wasn't really good at transitioning. Um, he taught me how to DJ, so it's like how could he not be in my top three?
No, absolutely. Same,
Yeah,
same
so
with Desi.
so
Like I've learned a lot just
a
from
lot, yes.
the few sessions that I had with him, and it changed my whole perception and just the way I DJ in general.
That's and ain't it crazy how community like actually works when it's like the way it's supposed to when you get around those types of people and those
Mm-hmm.
vibes, like
Mm-hmm.
is an amazing thing. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next question. Another fun one. Who is your dream B2B?
I want to say I have two. I don't know if they. I'm not sure if they still DJ or not. I haven't tapped in with them in a while. I would say either Chaos and the CBD, um, and Carrie Chandler.
Okay, that's dope. I like that. Um,
What about you?
my dream B2B.
Yeah, my answer might change
Um,
in like a few days now. Like once I like really go back and listen to some
Listen,
more
mine
DJs,
my
but
mine changes often, but I would say after watching her last year, Erica Badu. I saw her. She DJ. She did a set for a Jay Dilla tribute, and I
interesting. I
would
did not know
love to
that.
be on a stage with her and just like communicate through music.
Okay,
I would absolutely love it. And then my second one, like my dream, my absolute, Jazzy Jeff, because like I said, like he's the reason I even wanted to become a DJ. So
right.
like when I get to that point, because we're manifesting,
Oh, absolutely. And
when
you're
I
going to
get to
get to
that
that point.
point, like
Absolutely.
I'm gonna meet him and we're gonna do it. Um, because he's amazing and like I think my thing with Jazzy Jeff most like for the most part and like sticking with him as my favorite DJ would most definitely be like the fact that he is not afraid of the newer DJ technology. Like a lot of the older guys, they don't like controllers. They want to brag about how many records they have and they're spinning like it's the beginning of the hip hop days and it's like that's cool. That's actually beautiful that you can still do that. But Jazzy Jeff is not afraid of the sync button. He don't care about hot cue. He's not afraid of cues and
Oh,
effects
I be
built in
using the
on the
sync button
board.
religiously. Okay, don't get it
Yeah, like
twisted.
and
Like
listen, it's nothing wrong with it as long as it sounds good. Like
that's the thing. I think too, because you can't please everybody. Everything that you play, not everybody's gonna rock. But that's one thing that I came to terms with early on. It's like you're gonna have people that like what you play, then you gonna have people that don't. But it's like I think another thing for me, I know a lot of the music that I have shared and I have played. If it feels good to me and it sounds good to me, I know other people will rock with it as well. It might not be
yeah,
everybody, but I know it'll be more than the people that don't rock with it. And then, like you said, as far as
absolutely.
just like older DJs, like frowning upon like the newer equipment when it's like they made it to where literally anybody and everybody can DJ. Yeah, like yeah, maybe like a little bit more expensive or maybe not as far as like rugged or getting it out the mud in the ways that you guys had to, but
Yeah,
we grew up in different eras, so they've made it to where DJing is very easy to learn, something that, a 6-year-old could pick up and do. Because you got kids younger than us that be scratching
yeah.
vinyls,
Like
be
they going crazy.
exactly because of the technology in itself. Of course, like if you were born into like a music household or just somebody who came from a musical background and they just so happen to be a DJ, of course, like learning at certain ages or younger age may benefit in your may benefit you more as more so compared to someone like me. Like I've always been a avid music lover, but I didn't start thinking about DJing until I started doing it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
it
no.
never came across my mind to like be a DJ, but
Yeah.
now here we are.
Listen, it's a beautiful feeling. And then we're gonna go like straight into that very last question. Don't give too much detail because, like I said, like there are something I don't mind gatekeeping,
Right.
but I don't want you to share like an exact plan.
Okay.
Um, so next year today, where do you want to be in your DJ career?
I want to be. I want real to recognize real. I want
Okay,
to be at a place where people are reaching out to me. People are flying me out to come play. People are booking me. I'm traveling around the world
I like that.
to come play music because I think not even just for speaking for myself, but for the people that are in my life or in my circle, or just other DJs that I've been able to connect with through like TikTok or Instagram or whatnot. You have a lot of talented DJs and people who are actually like really good, but I think a lot of these platforms are kind of shying away from like actual talent, and they are just focused on like um I get like image and having like a big following is like a factor into people, you know, getting booked and to be able to play at certain places, but
Hmm.
a lot of the times people like us or DJs like us in our positions aren't given those opportunities just because of um the individuals that have the keys that are kind of overlooking and overshadowing like people who can do the same things if not better or just in a different way. But yeah, I would say that I plan on traveling and doing this full time, and all my energy and attention will be DJing, whether it be producing, whether it be doing my own events, like because that's one thing that I wanted to bring up earlier as far as like with people gatekeeping here. I think it's going to come to a point where it's like you can't rely and wait on people to like give you a handout or like give you an opportunity. Like sometimes you just gotta make shit shake on your own and just go from there. Like trust
Absolutely.
yourself. I know it may be like it's gonna be challenging, of course, with you know any and everything that we do, but the work is always gonna continue. The work will never stop, no matter what like career field or whatever field in life that you're like or goals that you're trying to like you know go towards or achieve. There will always be work that has to be done. There's always gonna be obstacles. And I think it's just like navigating in the best way that you know how to said like goals. But I think as long as you like know that a lot of times we already have what we're wanting and seeking. I think it's like eliminating a lot of the distractions that come alongside of what we want and just really like staying in our path and trusting ourselves more than anything. Um and not letting like the outside noises get in the way of what we have going on because like once people start seeing that you're doing something different or something out of the norm or if there have been people in a said city or area that are seeing people kind of essentially like take over or do things that they're not doing, then that's when like people have this like competition mindset when we all can eat. Like there's so much money
Yeah,
and
like
everything out here
it's
for
so
everybody.
much
Like
money.
we all can
Like,
eat.
and here's the thing, like people what they don't realize, and like not to like take it completely to a spiritual place, but like the money don't mean shit no way. Like we really should be sharing the art and we should really be creating with each other, as opposed to being like, nah, you taking money out of my pockets. I got kids to feed. Like I got myself to feed. But at the end of the day,
It don't
it's
matter.
all about creativity. This shit
Hmm.
don't matter. Something can happen tomorrow and ain't nobody gonna be like, remember when DJ Ink did that $2,000 uh backyard party?
Not
No,
at
they're
all.
gonna be like, no, remember they're gonna say, remember the music that she played at the backyard party. You know, it's stuff like that where it's like we could eat together, but because y'all don't want to, because you don't understand like what money does to your mind, like we're not, and we kind of like can't until you get there. Like I feel like once more people start to realize that we just need to be together and we need to be like creating together, um, it'll be a better place and a much better community for DJs as a whole. Because I want to turn the internet into like I want the internet to transform into something like DJ wise, especially like on a lot of like our feeds and everything. It's all
Right.
negativity, it's opinions, it's a bunch of stuff, and it's like, eh, let's just
Yeah.
continue to help each other share the music. Let's
No,
just get the music
absolutely.
out there.
I agree. I'm right there with you. Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
a lot of people think that you. A lot of people think that they can do it on their own, but like you need other people. You never know who you're gonna need in order to elevate you in ways that you probably wouldn't have thought of, or in ways that you didn't realize you needed. You know.
Hell yeah, and like that's the biggest part of community. Like I tell other DJs all the time, especially it's more like I would say for me, it's more like the girl DJs, the female DJs, us as women, especially, and mostly as Black women in Detroit. Like we have to stick together, and nobody really ever reaches out, which is like that's fine. But like if you need to, I don't care if you need mics. You can borrow damn near anything from me outside of my cameras, my MacBook, and maybe the controller. But like if you need speakers, if you need my wireless mics, um, if you need a song that like you can't find or you don't feel like buying it and I might have it, I can send you that. Like I can send you a whole set list if you need it, if I have it. Like I don't mind helping because we can't just say the word community and then just like let it go. Like we gotta stick together.
We're not actively doing things to make it feel like a community.
No. Um and fortunately for me, like that has changed because I'm becoming like friendlier and getting like becoming more open and like allowing myself to meet people, and a lot of
Right.
people's vibes are great. And like even if it's not you meeting like your favorite DJ in the city, it could be you could just shake hands and like meet their best friend in the bathroom or in an elevator on the way to like leave from downtown or something like that. And um you just build a team, you build a community, and like it's with the way things are going outside of the DJ world, like we're gonna need each other.
Right.
And I just think it's important to be like together. If we're not together, then you kind of like lose everything, and it becomes that negative space that we kind of already in as a community. Because somebody's gonna not gonna like something. Somebody, it's always somebody that's gonna hate something or not like it. Um,
Absolutely. No matter
when
what
we
you
were
do.
Yeah, when we were talking about like the revolution and like the evolution of DJing technology, um, I was talking with somebody who was like he's like 65, and he was like, I don't understand. We were in a record shop, and he was like, I don't understand why people don't like controllers. And they say like, no, don't use a controller, or like I got my disc, or I'm on CDJs. He brought up CDJs, and it was the funniest thing in the world because he was like, people don't realize if you go and look up the history of CDJs, CD is in CDJs. You used to have to put a CD inside of that. And I was like, see? And see how you 65 years old and you know that? Like, I
Right.
think it's important for us to just communicate with each other so we can teach each other things of that nature too. But
No, I agree. That was beautifully said. Okay.
yeah. Well, thank
Okay.
you.
I like
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually.
um I didn't have one more question, but now I kind of do have one more question. Um, of course, we gave like I gave a small description of everything that you're doing because like you really are going crazy. Um, what is the next? You recently just dropped the B2B with your friend. I'm sorry, I'm losing names. It's almost one
No, you
o'clock in the
good.
morning over
You
here, but
good.
with DJ and You recently just dropped that video. What's like the next piece of content that you're about to get out?
Well, next month, it'll be the second installment of our Borders event. It'll be
Okay.
at the end of the month. Um, and we're also gonna be doing this event at this rooftop bar. It's like this rooftop. I don't. It's not like a. It's not a hotel. Is it? It's just like a rooftop. It's just like a rooftop that's collaborating with a dive bar down here. That's
Okay.
downtown. We're gonna be doing a little event there, and I believe the theme is like '60s Motown ish type vibes. I think it's gonna be like a
Okay.
older crowd. I'm not sure if that's gonna be. I don't know if that's gonna be the sound for the whole night or just like a small portion of the night. And then I will also be doing a free flow art event where you'll have like different types of artists, whether it be like fire bending or like yoga and like dance and just free flow art as a whole. I'll be spinning some music um, at the park that a lot of people attend to down here. I would say outside of that, one thing that I do want to do more is just record myself like in my element, not just like make videos with a bunch of like different like images or videos. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but I know people like a lot of the content and the things that you are seeing now is like people actually like recording themselves, whether it be mashups or they're doing sets, in their backyard or in a grocery
Yeah.
store or wherever the case may be. Like people visibly want to see you like in your element. So that's like one thing that
I'm
I
not
need
gonna
to
lie, the
do more.
grocery store guy like throws me off a little bit because it's like he must live in a very nice neighborhood because the way somebody would just knock the controller off my cart,
Man, the comfortability that you got in people,
I'm
the
like, the
trust.
store got to be closed or something. Something's going on.
Right.
That man is he's doing great.
Right.
Cause
I would say the next thing is getting merch at some point. So whether it be
okay,
stickers, I want to do beanies at some point, but definitely like stickers. I want to do like shirts. Of course, I have a logo, but trying to like brand myself or not brand myself, but like um, have a brand and really just venture out and expand outside of like YouTube and like make those. I like the online presence is there, but like working on the in person, the in real life, those
I get
connections,
that.
those relationships, um, and establishing like that as well. So those are definitely some things that will be in the works, for the rest of the year and just
Okay,
moving on forward. So I'm definitely excited. I do think at some point, like as far as like the music scene here, it's not where it should be or where it needs to be. Not to say that it won't get there, but sometimes it can be very discouraging. Um, but again, definitely want to be able to travel, possibly may move, just given what plans on happening in the next few
hey,
months or so.
listen, I'm not gonna like say Detroit, but
Detroit, hey,
I'm gonna say Detroit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Detroit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
I
it's
because
lit up here.
I know the opportunities everywhere else compared to here is like is
Yes,
this is not
Chicago,
even on a
Detroit,
comparison level.
Chicago. Um, I'm thinking play like yeah, Detroit, Chicago.
I've been
Your
told
music
Chicago.
style is New York.
Yeah, I've
I
been in
think
New
you would
York.
kill in New York.
I do too. I don't think I would want to live there, but I
Okay,
definitely want to go there to play. Like, cause there's always events going on. Like, there's just always something going on. Whether it be every week, every weekend. Like here, I want to try to get outside of like just being more consistent. So not having shows just like monthly. Like I want to get to the point where I'm doing something every 2 weeks or once a week or just on a more consistent basis.
I got you.
Especially if I'm trying to make this, if we're trying to make this a full time thing, it's like you can't survive off of just one event.
No.
especially if it's like a club or a venue. Like again, trying to transition into corporate and private events, weddings that are actually gonna pay you a good little lump sum or whatnot. But again, it's not necessarily about the money; it's about the experience. Although that is nice because we still want to be able to take care of ourselves and do these things that we need to do. But yeah, I think it's more so of like just being able to play in various different settings and places more so. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I know it's bound to happen. It's gonna happen.
Listen, I got you. And I'm looking forward to it. Um, I got two more mixes to catch up on. I'm not gonna lie to you. I move
And,
a lot, so
no, you good. I'm right there with you. I haven't been as consistent as I once was, but yeah,
hey, listen, it's life. It happens, and
yeah,
not
life
always.
do be catching up to us.
Yeah,
Gotta handle our
it is, but
business.
it's important that we have goals, and I'm super happy that we came across each other that one fateful day via TikTok. Honestly, because um I like to connect all over. So for me, it's like if I want one day to be like, you know what, I'm taking this national, and then maybe I'll take it global. Like I like to connect with everybody,
Right,
um, because DJing is like the main thing for me. But I think other forms of entertainment, just like this show is recording. It's entertainment. I like to interview. I like to do certain things. I like to pick at people's brains. I love those type of things. So I'm very glad that we met. I think it's super dope that we finally like got like a on face on camera like
right. It's
interaction.
been about a year. It's been about a year or
Yeah,
so. Um,
yeah,
Thank you, like you said, thank TikTok. Because like you said, I've been able to meet other amazing DJs and creators, and I
man.
also have somebody that I would like to meet really quick.
Okay,
I want y'all to
all right.
connect because she's also an up and coming DJ, my lovely
Please,
future
what's
wife.
up? Please.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's your DJ name? Say it again.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Eclipsia.
Okay. That's hard. I like that.
Ah, thank you.
I like that. I like that a
I
lot.
appreciate that.
It's no problem.
But
So,
yeah, I'll definitely um send over your info to her, and then y'all can chit
oh
chat.
no, for sure. I like to keep in touch with everybody, especially listen, my specialty is like making sure that I'm in like tapped in to like all of the women DJs around. Like
Yeah,
so like I
she
even
Yeah, we're on
got
the
like
same
West
time.
Coast connections. I got people telling me like whenever you're ready to come to California, even if you want to do like 30 minutes out my set, come out. Like so it's the same thing here because that's just how it has to be. Like I said, we can't say community and just say community. So like that's the important part. I did very much so enjoy this conversation.
I did as
Uh,
well.
it's getting late. It's almost 1 a.m. over here. I know that means it's almost midnight over there.
I'm wide awake though.
Let's
This
make
is
sure we
normal.
stay connected. We got our phone numbers. We got all of this stuff. Let's stay connected. Shit. Even like the way technology is moving right now. Um, I saw it on like a preview for Serato. Might be wrong. Might have been like halfway asleep when I watched the video, but like eventually they're gonna add a feature in DJ Serato where like the video feature, you guys can go like virtually and do like B2Bs like live
Ooh.
with Wi-Fi. I don't know how far away they are from actually getting that popping,
That's gonna be
but
dope.
when they do it,
Okay.
we got a link. We got a link when they do it.
That and then the trip to Detroit for sure.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's
You
definitely gonna
got to come to
happen.
Detroit. I want to come down there. I got some family down there, my dad's people. So
Oh,
listen, we
Okay, what
definitely got a
part?
link. I don't know. I
Okay.
listen, it's like my dad's grandmother's siblings and all of their like people, and they don't come up here that often. I don't think I've ever been down there at all to
Right.
Alabama specifically. Um, but I know I do have some family out there. So
Okay.
eventually I'll make it. But for sure, come up here. Come to Detroit.
Yeah,
Come to
definitely would
Detroit.
like
You
to get
got
on the
to.
ones and twos arena real quick.
Hell
A
yeah.
little jam
Hell
session
yeah.
whatnot. That can happen. That definitely will happen. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully she
Absolutely.
will be coming alongside with me whenever I do make that trip.
Oh shoot. Hey, listen. That's the hope. I love that because I also love Young Black Love as well. So
Thank
But all
you.
right. I'm gonna stop the recording. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.